chance to look over some of the stuff. Basically, what I'd like to do today is just run the book from top to bottom, just to kind of give you an idea where we're going to have to make changes. Of course, we know on the very front the date will have to be changed. And the contents, table of contents is probably going to change because we have some stuff. I talked to Pam today, and we have some stuff that you need one.
Is there much change from this one and the 16?
Oh yeah, yeah. Some. There's going to be more.
I made notes on 16.
And there'll be little bitty things where we change. Where this revised 2019 version, what it's going to be called. Little things like that. Page numbers will be changed on some of the stuff where it refers to. On page 7, and the judge can correct me if I'm wrong, but his departments that he has is maintenance, Office of Emergency Management / 911, solid waste, road department, it's solid waste management, excuse me, veteran services and floodplain management. I think that's his departments.
Do you want building maintenance or just maintenance?
It don't matter. The safety part is just maintenance.
Just maintenance, okay, that's fine. So she's got that.
Okay.
So she's taking notes. So on page 8, where we talk about elections happen every 4 years. When we printed this, they were every 2 years. Now they're every 4 years for elected officials. That doesn't count JPs. So we're going to move it to 4 years. In case y'all have, I'm going to rattle through this stuff, and if you've got something that you want to add, stop me. Okay, because I want.
Be sure and tell us page number.
Yeah. All right. That was page 8 where I just corrected that on.
Okay.
Right before county employment policy. And we may have to go back. Pam may have some notes on stuff that we need to go back and look. Hiring procedures, I didn't see anything wrong. Work requirements, and I forgot, I will apologize for this meeting, but next meeting, I will bring my bag that's got 9 other counties in it of stuff. I was going to do that, and I thought, no, not tonight. We're just going to breeze through this tonight and see what we need to look at. Then we'll get hot and heavy. I'll bring that thing in, and we can browse through those and go from there. Employment conduct standards, we fixed that. It was a lot more than what was before on the 2016 version. Whistleblower, we're on page 13. We did change under employee benefits, number 11 on page 13. The normal work period for all employees shall be 40 hours per week. And that's going to be in accordance with Ordinance 2019-08.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Okay. The normal work period for all employees shall be 40 hours per week, and that is in accordance with Ordinance 2019-08, and that's on page 13. Okay, so Pam's got that info. We did talk about, Pam had something we might need to add under employee benefits. Remember we talked about that? You mentioned something, I forgot what it was.
I had a question before
Yes.
we go any further. I had just a note.
Okay.
I went back to my old 16
That's
because
fine.
I have nice holes in it.
That's good.
And no employee shall accrue more than 120 hours of compensatory time.
Mm-hmm.
We had already had some piling up already.
Yes. And I don't know what we decided to do with that. They won't get paid for it.
Yes, they will.
Oh, yes, they will get paid. They will get paid for anything over 120. Unfortunately, we couldn't change that. That's
They earn that time.
they earned that time.
Yeah, you have to give it to them and we'll be sued.
We'll
But
be
you
sued
can-
if we don't give it to them.
You can either,
Wasn't there something that we were trying to get them to use?
yeah, they
Yeah.
can use that time as time off, or we're gonna have to pay them that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's
correct?
the end of the year.
It can bubble up over that. but they
Yeah,
need to
and
get
it
a lot
probably
more
will,
taken
and
out.
some of those guys will be taking time. And
Well, they're not supposed to accrue more than 120 hours at
Right.
any time. that if they do, we're allowed to pay them for it, or if they can, take time off.
And that's standard with the other books that we looked in. So that's a standard statement across the board, all this 9 counties that the books that I had, so.
But that's also up to the elected official. If you
Just
want somebody
just written that way?
Yeah, it's just
to go
written
out
that way.
more
Okay.
full-time, then-
Because I had thought about that, we had talked about that 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, we did.
It's like, we gotta try to fix this. So, we told, all the elected officials, you need to get these people, tell them they gotta take time off. They need to keep this 120 or below. That's your responsibility. So that's, hopefully they're doing that. We did run into some problems this last year with that, so.
I don't think I had any.
Did you have any last year? What, Sheriff's Department, do we have? Maybe we
I don't
didn't.
think I had
Maybe I'm
any
thinking year
changes
before
on it.
last. Might have been. Anyway, I think right now, really, the elected officials are looking at it pretty closely, trying to keep it down, so
Yeah, everybody's doing really good.
that's a good thing. Okay, good point, though. All right. Under page 15, under progressive discipline, this came up at the trial.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, what I want you to do is I want you to look at this section. I'm gonna go back through my 9 books under their progressive discipline sections and look at this. This is, it's kind of a two-edged sword here because we're an at-will
I think
county.
Yeah, it seems to contradict itself.
Yeah, it's contradicting what we're saying.
I mean-
If we're at will,
Either we
you
can
can be
fire
fired
them-
from coming in and wearing the wrong colored shirt.
Yeah, I mean,
If-
Well,
so,
Yeah, the thing is, and this was explained to me by Carol, we can say we're at will all day long, and the law can say we're at will. And then when we lead them to believe that they have this process that they go through before they're terminated,
Right.
it kind of negates your at will.
It does negate it.
employment. Now, also, while we're on this is something I had written down. At a minimum, even if we keep all this, disciplinary, the progressive disciplinary process, which is completely up to y'all, we need a separate list of gross misconduct offenses that specifically state are terminating offenses. Because there is absolutely nothing that an employee can do that we don't just verbally reprimand them for, like stealing or a drug test or whatever. Well, it diverts back to the progressive discipline. Even though it says the supervisors are not bound by a progressive discipline formula in
No.
the cases of serious offenses, we don't state what offenses are serious.
Yeah.
So someone can be stealing from the company or from the county, and we can't do a daggum thing about it except note that, well, I told them not to. And then if I catch them again, write them up for it.
Okay.
Then send them home.
Well, in
That's-
that respect, we need to look at page
I mean, if we
15.
took it out, then we wouldn't have, because
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any way we can line out every single thing. I think we're pinning ourselves into a hole.
Well, and when I read over this, it's like, wow,
Well,
this is a double-edged knife right here.
I have to admit, I know why that's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Remember the discussion we
Yes,
had?
I remember the big
Yeah.
discussion, and I'm thinking that we probably ought to just give it the axe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, on the next page, on page 16, yeah, we have 30 inappropriate conduct causing discipline things that we can, that if you do one of these 30, it says grounds for discipline or possible termination.
If you go through your disciplinary, what this says without saying is
Yeah.
it can be possible termination if you've worked your way up through the disciplinary progress.
Yes. Now, however, if we axe the disciplinary progress and we change this to say, conduct deemed inappropriate for the workplace, including not limited to the following list, is considered grounds for termination.
I think that would be better. Or I think, I mean, to a certain extent, if we get rid of, my personal opinion is that progressive discipline, because when we had the hearing, that was a sword in my mind.
Oh, yes.
I mean, do we, like, I get, and I appreciate this list, but do we need the list? I mean, you know what do we need to, and that way that's gone. You were at will, you can be fired.
Well, we had a list, but I made it much longer compared to
Another thing
other
that's
counties.
a contradiction is it states in here that progressive discipline is not designed to get rid of someone, it's to change their behavior and make them better, which
Yeah.
I get that. But then why is our very first one us documenting it? We don't even have to share it with the employee. It's just a verbal,
Yeah.
you know, they don't even have to sign off on it.
Do you all
So-
agree to get rid of progressive discipline?
Yeah, I saw
Esther,
how
what do
it
you
came to
think?
bite us.
Because it is what it is.
If
Yeah.
y'all need something there, just put number 12, at will.
Well, what I would do at this point, I would just notate it, go home and sleep on it and think.
Let's do that.
Okay, explain to me what you said about progressive discipline again.
Oh, it kind of contradicts itself because the whole point is to save an employee. You just bring out what they're doing wrong, you discuss it with them, and you try to get them to change their behavior.
Yeah.
But then in step one, it's just a verbal that you kind of write down, well, I discussed that with them. That's not really,
No, that's not at will.
well, and that's not trying to make them better
No.
necessarily.
It's just one step to get rid of them.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Now, we did question that in the case that we had before, not this one, the
Right.
one before, because
Right.
that was not done. And
Right.
we said, why didn't you do this? Well, we don't have to for an at-will state.
I get that.
So, all right,
Now, I could see one reason for having it.
Yes.
And then I can see how how it came and
Yeah.
ate our lunch.
it circled around the, yeah. It was,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was, yeah.
We
Yeah.
fell into a pit of alligators.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that. Okay, look at these 30, and we can reorganize these. And or you think some of them may need to come out, but this is pretty close to what
Y'all just-
most of the other 9 counties had in their handbooks. So, okay, I didn't see anything with resignation, safety right now.
So, we moving on?
Injuries, we're moving. Okay, political activities, page 18. I did change the wording in the very first. It says, number 1, you are highly encouraged to vote in elections. It reads encouraged to vote every election, but I put in elections. That covers it all. The other thing that we need to talk about, and we ran into a problem with this, is political signs on this campus. Okay, you cannot have a political sign in your car on county property,
On your car.
on your car, or on the grounds,
On or in?
on or in.
So what about a decal on your side?
You know-
Okay,
Not if you're working here.
okay.
Now, we had to talk about this, say, how are we going to control those people who come to vote, early voting, and have a sticker on their car?
If they park out here.
If they
and
park out here.
Already 100 feet away.
Yeah, if they're 100 feet away.
The law says
that's-
100
That's the
feet.
law. It says 100 feet away.
Well, what about Joe Blow who just wheels in here?
That's what I'm saying.
And parks right next to.
Right next to the
Vicky's?
voting thing
Yeah.
down there. You can't do anything about it, unfortunately. There's no way to patrol that.
Okay.
As much as I would like to, you know.
But we can't control the people.
You
who
can't
work
control it
there.
with all employees.
Okay.
So that's where I'm kind of headed with that. So I wrote, and I think you might have changed it even, no political signs of any kind may be on county property and to include those on vehicles, windows, decals, handouts, or other etc. materials for county employees. That we can control.
And the visitors, you can go to them and say, you're not supposed to have your signs here, but we couldn't make them leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I did, yes,
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I've got one before you change pages.
okay, go ahead, because I'm ready to go to the next page.
Okay. I had under weapons,
Oh, yeah, weapons, we need to talk
Um,
about that.
those who, if they're authorized, I just made a notation, they
Okay.
must have a concealed carry license.
Okay, that is, the way we wrote that is to try to keep, but Pam's gonna look at that. No
But it-
weapons on county property, exceptions, see ordinance
Is that the one?
2016-14. That's the one
Okay.
that includes all
All right.
that. And I told her, I said, you know what? We can put that in if you want to. It's gonna move everything in the book down,
Fine.
or leave it like it is, and we'll put a copy of 2016-14 in the back of the book.
Okay,
But if you're gonna put a copy of the ordinance, you might as well copy.
You
and
might as well
paste
copy it
over
all
to
off and put it
here.
in there.
When somebody pulls up out here and they do have concealed carry license, they're not gonna know what ordinance.
Exactly. That's why we talked about it and said, you know, we probably just need to put it all in here.
Yeah, I think it needs to be
Yeah,
in there.
and that's what we're gonna do. It's just gonna make the book longer, but who cares? It doesn't matter. So, but the language is very specific about who can, who cannot.
When we redo this book, we need to try to pull every amendment to it into the actual policy.
That's what I
and
was
then-
telling
We were talking about that
Yeah.
today,
We
yeah.
got too many.
There's a lot of amendments in it that we need to include in here.
okay.
So
Now's the time.
that's something else we need to do. Okay, good point. We will put that in there. I'm writing it, Pam put in. Okay, the only other thing on the next page was down for the use of the cell phones, right down towards the last sentence. It said abuse of a county phone or cell phone or personnel cell phone for personal use may result in disciplinary action or termination. We didn't have or termination there. So we need to add that.
Where is that? I haven't.
Page 19, use of county assets on cell
I
phones.
think it's right here, wait a minute, 19.
It'll be the next to last sentence. Next to last sentence.
And termination.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it, thank you.
County vehicles and other equipment, didn't really do anything there.
Wait a minute,
Media,
I got a tag here.
what you got?
I don't know. I had put a little note,
Uh-huh,
it says no county vehicle will be allowed to be used on weekends or any other time, either during or after work, for the purpose of traveling to and from personal errands. And then I put a notation, see county judge.
okay, well, that's already in the new one. That's in this one.
Okay.
We have that already in here.
Okay,
Yep,
good.
so you're good there.
Well, I'm going Bill.
Yep, yep. Okay, media separation, didn't have anything there. Leaves of absence, personal days, holidays, sick leave, didn't have any changes on that. Donated, maternity, catastrophic, none of that. Procedures for application was catastrophic, didn't have anything there that we changed. And everything that we have is running right parallel with most of the other counties, exactly what they have, which AAC approves all these, so. Constitutionally protected, FEMA, nothing changing there. Public safety and drug and alcohol testing, all right, we need to talk on this just a minute. Okay, I went and printed off a few things. I will just pass these around and let you guys look at these. It specifically talks about CDL and CDL testing. You do not have to have if you don't hold a CDL license, you don't have to take the National Med Test.
Okay, so it
National
can be
Med
any-
Test only applies to people that have CDL license. Okay, so none of our other employees, if they don't have CDL, they can be tested by the Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
And that's any official test that is used by the sheriff's
Yes,
department?
any official test used.
Good.
But that's what those state,
That's what you want to amend it to.
yeah,
Right.
yes, we need to amend that to that.
Does all of the road department have CDLs, or they're just certain?
No,
people?
Just
Okay.
a few. And right now, I'm getting ready to hire some 18-year-old temporary summer brush crew to help keep everything mowed down.
Yeah,
We've
and
got
that,
to pull them out of school because they're going to start right after school, or they'll have a 2-week waiting period. Because we have to take them down, the closest place is Quitman, to get a DOT drug test, because by policy, that's what I have to do.
Yes.
Found this out the hard way. So they're going to have to be pulled out of school. We have to escort them all the way out of county and pay for this test. When we could just take them to the Sheriff's Department and get it done and be done with it.
yeah,
So what are you gonna have to do? Are you gonna have to take them to the?
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, he's got to take them down
Okay.
there. Oh, yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Yeah, they have to,
Equipment, that's close.
yeah, they have to be tested.
No
Because
place
they
in
will have a
Van Buren County
CDL.
offers that test.
No place in Van Buren County.
Did you wanna see that?
That's the nearest one, and then
Just
Jonesboro
those-
has a testing facility.
Hmm.
Little Rock has a testing facility. But this Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration is what it's all about. And the CVMs are covered under that regulation. And it's Regulation 49 CFR Part 382. As a CDL driver, you're required to submit to drug and/or alcohol testing at any time during pre-employment or employment process. If you are a CMV driver, operator, expect to be tested at any time for any reason or randomly. So, for any reason, the judge could have them tested at any time. There's no set schedule to do that. You just, whenever he feels like it may need to be done.
For the people that go, so everybody else can go to the sheriff's office.
Yep.
What about the whole split? Like, what if there's a positive test, they require another test?
Yes.
Can they conduct that second, like, do they know what there was all that controversy between what a split test was?
Yeah, well,
The split test is a DOT.
it's a DOT standard too, but it's not, they have to be careful how they do that.
If we change this, though.
But if we
would
change
that
this-
be- Would that not be a problem?
No, not with the sheriff's department.
Split tests are not performed by pouring
No,
one sample into another and then adding to it.
No.
That's not the way you do a split test.
that's not a split test.
Split test is sending it off to another lab
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something to have.
So they'll know to do that, though, the next
I
time.
believe
They
they,
need to.
That's
Okay,
weird.
okay.
They need to.
Oh,
That's
they-
where the whole controversy was.
that's where the controversy was, because you can't do that.
Nobody knew how to do it.
Yeah.
No, nobody knew what.
I believe they know
split,
now.
Check split test was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they know now.
Yes, I'm pretty sure the sheriff knows now. So that was really the only, in the public safety and employment drug and alcohol testing, that's really the only thing that I really had to look at. Unless there's something else that y'all see. Yes, ma'am.
I had H. I just put a little, and I had just put a note specify, and those who's in, that's the split thing.
Yeah,
Never
that-
mind, that's the split thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will, once we get a little closer to this, I want to make sure I visit with the sheriff and say,
Yeah.
are you sure you know how to do a split test? Because we can't have another,
Well, if we're using instant tests, you don't do a split
no, if you're
test.
using
You
instant
just
test,
do a
no,
second
you do a
test.
second test. You don't have to do a split
That's
test
what I'm
if you're
saying,
using
if they
instant
change
test.
this, we won't have to worry about this split.
Okay, so if they fail a test down there and they say, I want another test, the sheriff's office just gives them another test.
Yes.
And then it comes back negative. And then you got a positive and a negative.
Then what?
You go by the second test. Or unless you feel strongly there's something wrong, then
I'll tell you what, though.
then you send them to.
Let me tell you what happens. And you can say it don't all you want. Here's what happens. You use drugs, so you have pretty close to you a masking drug that you order out of High Times magazine or that you go down to the health food store and get that are made to make a hot test look pop negative. You are on borrowed time, and by the time you get up to that and you've waited your turn to get drug tested, you show a positive, and then you wait to get tested again, that masking agent kicks in. It's like taking a Tylenol.
Mm-hmm. Well, read over that section.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
y'all just think about that.
think about that, because I'm gonna go back over and look at the state drug and regulations on testing and
Surely
make sure that-
surely there's some way. Tell me something. I've never been drug tested, okay? Ooh.
We need to drug test.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Get a bottle.
You just triggered one.
Is it, yeah, I'm not anticipating one either. But I mean, is it an immediate thing?
Here's what I would like to see us adopt. I would like to see us, if you pop a hot test and you think that was wrong, no matter what the cost is or what, we do follicles. Done.
Yeah, because that's not gonna lie.
Okay, but what I'm getting at is it would be an immediate thing. I mean, I'm going through and I'm in a whole group.
Mhm.
Okay, now you've lassoed us. Is there a possibility that from the time that Gary here says we're gonna go in for a drug test, that I could take that masking drug
Yes.
before I actually take the first test?
Yes. Yes.
How quickly does it take effect?
Well, since all this came about, people have told me about taking masking drugs. People have admitted to it.
So
And
now,
apparently, they take effect pretty fast. Have y'all ever had anything like this in your clinic?
No, I don't know, and I don't know how fast it works, but we had several different tests. One that gives us a test right then, and it's just something you put in a cup and you just wait 5 minutes. Then there's the other one where you send it off to a
Instead of a hair follicle, though, what about a blood test? That where they are escorted, there is no, that you take them from the sheriff's office in the sheriff's car to the doctor, and it's a blood draw. I mean,
We can do that too.
but can you say, I'm gonna give you a drug test, and then you really can't keep people from drinking water, right?
It's just like a DWI. If you go in for a DWI and you take a test, you don't like the results, you have an option of either taking those results or going to having blood drawn.
Isn't that at their
And that's at their
expense
Now,
though?
that's DWI, of course, we're talking drugs,
Mhm.
but that's DWI, but blood don't lie. I'm just
No,
saying.
it
blood
doesn't.
don't
But it
lie.
would have to be then.
Well, you'd have to wait on the results, because that's sent to the crime lab, it is
Yes, but I
certified,
mean-
it is.
But
no, they
just
couldn't
you-
leave. They couldn't.
Yeah, that's what
That
I'm
would
saying.
Yeah, I mean, as
Yeah.
soon as you take that test,
So.
that's an instant test.
Because
They do.
Thursday
Craig,
came out positive and they
Well,
locked
I mean,
it
we'd have to
at
pay
their
for it
expense
if we're asking
if
for
we
the
go to a
test.
hospital.
But what I'm saying is, if you go up there,
Or we
you
could
take
take
that
them to the
test, and
hospital
it's an
at their
instant test, because it's by urine,
Mhm.
okay, it's positive, they say
Mhm.
bull donkey, okay, I want another test, then you take them and have blood drawn immediately.
yeah,
pay for it.
And they, well, I mean, somebody had to pay for it, that'd be up to them.
yeah. If we could say, if you don't like the results of this test, then on your nickel,
We could take you to the hospital
and have a blood test,
on your dime.
but it would be immediate.
Then, even go beyond that. If that test shows negative, county pays for it.
Okay.
And they get paid for all their time that they
Right.
were off.
Yeah, because if they,
I think that's fair.
if they test positive, they are suspended without pay until,
Yeah, and that way they don't.
The next step.
If it's really clear, they're going to clear their.
well,
You know,
and if we're
it's
gonna.
going to be made right.
If we're gonna do that, I have no problem with that, but if we're gonna do that, then we have to take H out to where it talks about split testing. Because we don't wanna do a split testing.
Well, that's where we come back and we really
Yeah.
do a review.
So we'll circle H because you're gonna need to look at that, okay?
Okay, what
Just
page is
remember
that on?
The blood test, it does take 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
5 days or better to get that back. So,
Yeah.
it takes time.
Yeah, it does take time.
But I think that's very fair. If you
Does
do
it
a
have to
urine
go to the crime
test,
lab or can they get,
Yeah, it's fair.
can you send it to?
okay,
And then you have the choice.
Tell
take
you,
the blood test, give them that
Yeah.
choice,
I re-
and take them right up there. So there's
Unless those are
it's all in the same.
those are-
time
Because there
period.
was too
Can they do
much
blood
time.
testing?
There was too much time.
Maybe
He
we
got
could
to
work
drink
something out
water.
with them.
And he got to drink lots of water.
Yeah, there was a time, that,
Yeah.
that shed, that made the whole thing more complicated, where if we took that element out,
Mm-hmm.
and it was immediate, and I think that would be fair to the county and the employee. Because if it came back that was negative, it would be fair for the county to pay for it, and the county to pay for their time.
Okay,
And it just needs to be spelled out that this
Yeah.
happens immediately.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
where are we taking them to get blood drawn?
Hospital.
The hospital?
Yeah.
I think the hospital,
Yeah.
that's a,
That's day or night.
Yeah. Question, can the hospital do blood testing?
Yeah, that's who you go to for DWIs.
Okay, so they can test it right there for drugs.
Yes,
Good.
and it has to be sent, there's a, yeah, they have to there's a certain box they'll have to have for drugs, there's one for DWI, there's one for drugs.
Okay.
And it has to be sent to the crime lab, and they analyze it, and
Okay,
then if it goes to court, they have all their
all right,
specials.
Fair enough.
all right,
Okay,
all right,
all right.
okay. We'll look at that. All
They
righty.
probably aren't gonna go through having their blood pulled and sent to the crime lab if they're really hot.
If they know they're hot, yeah.
Right.
Okay, as far as the rest of the book, I don't have anything else to change right now.
I did.
What you have?
I'm gonna look at it first. Wait a minute.
I've got some things I would like for y'all to consider.
Okay.
While she's looking hers up.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, on comp time,
yes,
the way the policy is currently stated, comp time will not be paid until the employee has worked, like physically worked, more than 40 hours. I would like that to be amended to where the elected official can offer comp time even if they haven't worked the full 40. Because we also offer their birthday off with pay. If they come in and work in the middle of the night because we have trees across the road and that just happens to be on their birthday week, you've got one person just out there working for straight time, you've got the rest of the crew working comp time. And really, if I call somebody out in the middle of the night, they deserve comp time. But we can't give it to them. If we have had situations not too long ago, remember when it snowed on Christmas Eve and it iced, or Christmas Day or whatever's over the holidays? We had guys on the holiday out clearing roads for straight time.
If
Because
it's a holiday, they're getting paid double time.
they're getting their holiday pay just like everybody else. They're getting, but that's it. And then they're getting paid for work.
Yeah.
But that they should get, if it's a holiday and they're out working, they should, I think I should be able to offer them comp time. It's just wrong not to. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart, basically.
well, basically, you, in the sheriff's office would be the only one that would fall under that. Nobody else would be working on it.
Right.
We'll look
But
at
do
it.
you get into a process where, not necessarily you, but do you get into a process where the elected official has a crony relationship and just wants to give them comp time?
Well, you get that anyway.
Yeah. Well, you open up the door for that.
Right.
If you do.
It's something we can consider.
What happened is we had Martin Luther King holiday and then we had floods. Well, our guys are out trying to get the roads passable on straight time.
Well, yeah, they should have extra pay on top of that, or comp time. Comp
Well,
time would be,
They hadn't gotten up to it. It
They
was
haven't gotten up to
specified.
comp time
Yeah.
You
because they
have-
hadn't worked their 40.
Yeah,
They
you-
had that whole 10-hour day that they were off.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so then Friday comes around, I need them to work because we have impassable roads. And they do, but it's just straight.
Well, let me say something. I don't know if this would be correct or not. If you or the sheriff think somebody that is in your department needs comp time, I would think you as the judge could authorize that without it having to be in this book.
No, it has to be in here for us to do it.
Does it? Okay. Okay, so we'll look at it.
Okay, you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to see, I'm at the back page
Okay.
where the person is supposed to sign the handbook. I would like to see the handbook signed every year so that there is no way, and the people need to know that when they sign that, they are required to sign it. And when they sign it, that means that they understand everything in that book. And if it comes up to something They cannot say, gee, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that hasn't
That's
been,
true.
that hasn't been going on, that's for sure, as we found out.
But if we had them sign it every year.
And that is the supervisor's responsibility to make sure that happens.
Yeah, I think that's smart, just every year, whether there's an update or not.
Yeah, and I think probably, caveat on that is the supervisor needs to keep a list of those that have signed this book and the dates that they signed it and understood what's going on.
Well, they're supposed to turn it in.
Aren't they supposed to
to
turn it
the
into
clerk's
clerk's
We're
office?
supposed to keep them,
Yeah,
but after y'all did that before, not everybody had their employees sign it.
yeah. I think the biggest thing is that we make sure that the supervisors have them sign this. The supervisors need to
Every
provide a list
year.
to Pam.
Every
Yeah, every year.
And Pam needs the sheet though, because that's their personnel
Sheet,
file,
yeah.
and like that night,
Yeah.
we wanted to go, you know,
Yes.
if it was in their file,
Right.
the supervisor should be responsible, but it should be in there.
Yeah.
I tell you what we ended up doing. We just killed a tree. We sent a copy to Pam and we have a copy. And the copy's in
Well,
the
that's
personnel
good
file.
though.
That's what
But
you
we
have to
don't keep everybody's personal file. That state, like his office, they have files of all the county road guys. I keep all the, like the W-2s and, we keep these, we keep insurance papers, only certain papers. Now, if y'all wanted me to, I could keep, I guess, everybody's personal file. I'd rather not, but.
Well, I think the most important thing is that all the supervisors provide you with a list of everybody that signed it and the date they signed it, that said they read it.
Yeah,
That's
because
all
they
you
for
need.
sure need to keep their.
They need to
personal.
keep it, for sure. But as long as she's got a copy of that, that shows that everybody in her office has read and understood
Because
it.
I don't ever want to hear again in a grievance committee, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't read that.
I was beyond mad
Yeah.
about that.
I was embarrassed.
Oh, I was flabbergasted.
Well, I thought as much time as we'd put in on this.
4 months of work we did on correcting the stuff in this book, and some person
Well, it was true.
says they haven't.
No one
Read it.
had signed off.
Yeah.
That was fact.
Poor leadership.
Anyway.
Poor leadership.
Another thing, and this will probably just affect me and Lucas, we need some means in the handbook of allowing us to, I don't even know how to word it. Some jobs are very dangerous. And even though it may be legal, it's not right for them to hold the job, like with a medical marijuana card or.
Oh, no.
Like say
Thought we had that
someone's
in
on
there.
some benzos or someone's on some hydros
That's gotta go in.
and they have a prescription and it's perfectly legal. But if they're too drowsy to be driving, they don't need to be.
I thought we had that in there.
I think it was talked about, but I don't think we ever.
Well, it's gotta
I
go in
think that's
that,
a good one.
it's gotta go in that
Yeah.
section.
Even,
do you have a
even,
section
even
for
if
it?
it is
Yeah,
a legal
'cause-
use of a drug,
Yeah.
there are some tasks that don't need to be conducted while under that legal
High
use of
speed
that
Yeah.
drug.
chase,
Yeah,
hostage situation.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen that in one of the books.
Good.
I
That
don't
exact
even- yeah.
phrase.
Then you may have.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading it.
Medical prescription.
It would include a medical prescription.
Mhm.
If it makes them drowsy or any other ways not, that they're not totally
If
cognizant of
They don't need to
operating.
take it while they're on the job,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Or be under the influence.
be under the
of,
influence.
Or, anything that impairs judgment.
Yes,
Like, honestly, Ambien, you can be hungover from that, can you not? I mean, to the point that it can be dangerous for you to operate a motor vehicle or
A rock crusher.
a rock crusher.
Where is the,
I saw that.
And this isn't to protect the employer, this is to protect the employee.
and everybody else?
and everybody else,
Mhm.
but, yeah.
What is comp time in here?
It's just talked about, it's not a separate section on its own. I think it. All right, was there anything else, just at least for tonight? Because the next time we meet, like I said, I'll bring the big gun books, and we'll
Pull out the big guns.
look at them and say, okay, what's Craighead County have? What's Pulaski County have? What's
That's a good
Faulkner
idea.
County? Yeah, because I've got all those. So. Okay, and if you have anything that you think of, email me. Email me, okay? I'm always on my email. So, okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are on a start. What I'd like our goal to be, if we can, in July, I'd like a new book to go before the court to be approved. That's
We
my
don't have that
goal.
much to do,
Yeah, no, there's not a terrific amount to do.
not like the last time.
Not like the last time. All right, thank you for being here. Let's see, who's sticking around for the next meeting? That's
Holt?
Mary, Brian, me, John Bradford, Sarah Brown.
I think
Oh, wrong one.
I think it's
Nikki Brown, Esther Bass, Mary Phyllis, me, and Brian Tatum.
It's one of the brown.
For the next
blonde
meeting,
girls.
it's one of the brown blondes.
Everybody but Lynn.
Everybody but Mr. Gary.
Thank you.
And he may stay just for fun.
Yeah.
So
Which is
what's
fine.
the second one?
It's so
I've
exciting.
got to use the rest of
Next meeting is
I didn't
budget.
know we were having two.
Oh, yes.
Which is okay.
That's why I tried to keep mine short as I could.
Yeah, good. Budget.
I did pretty good. I was trying for 30 minutes. I went over 9 minutes.
No.
I think everybody was saying, huh? What? Come over here, just thinking building.
Well, I'm going to the bathroom.
Oh, sure. Because this is, everything on this side of 65 is mine.
No.
You sure? No, I'm